Thank you so much. In fact, I was just thinking before coming here that one of the issues which probably has been given to us talking about millennials, and probably being the oldest among the lot, I thought my turn will come in the last. So thank you very much for giving me this turn. Distinguished academicians present here on my right, distinguished panelists on my left, and all my audience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm deeply privileged and honored to be here in the midst of such large gathering of academicians and industry members. Indian Oil, being the largest commercial organization in the country and also the leading Indian corporate in the Fortune 500 list, probably we are proud to be associated with this kind of conference. As we know that Indian Oil spans across the length and breadth of the country. Whether somebody is in Srinagar in J&K, or in Tamil Nadu, or in Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh, or in Porbandar in Gujarat, Indian Oil logo is same and it is recognized and identified across the cultures. But friends, the people who make it possible, who are behind the scene about this activity for making Indian Oil in every part and every heart, as we say it, they may be of different cultures, different languages, different religions, different regions in that particular area. Maybe somebody who is in Assam, he is North Indian, or maybe South Indian, likewise. So that throws up the first challenge as an organization to take care of such people, because that challenge becomes for that individual as also for the organization. Now for a person, if a person is posted, suppose he belongs to Patiala in Punjab and he is posted somewhere in Kerala, that throws up a challenge. If somebody is from Assam and is posted in maybe Jind in Haryana, that throws a challenge. And that challenge is not only for that individual, because the problem is the kind of language, because he or she is fearful of language, the food habits, the climate, and other things, many other things. So to me, probably diversity is not limited to only gender or the region. Across the company, across the activities, the diversity is seen in our organization. It also extends to the ideas, because in our organization, being a pan-India organization, I said that earlier, we have people with different ideas, different perceptions, different value systems. All this leads to the diversity. And how it is managed in Indian Oil, probably I'll use this time of explaining as to how we are managing all this. Now first, let us understand as to what are the challenges in the diversity. First is probably when we are growing up in our childhood, and many youngsters, I can see this, that based on our family background, based on our upbringing, based on still the school, the teachings in the school and other things, the first challenge probably we feel is that stereotyping of women. It is said that women can do only lighter jobs or maybe daily chores, because in our times, people of my age will probably appreciate. In our times, probably it was not even thought of that women can work or women should work. So I'm of that era. Now things are changing, of course, this is very good, as far as country is concerned. But it still continues, especially in rural areas. So we have to come out of that particular challenge, and we have to use that as opportunity to get more women into workforce. Because the studies show that it is only 26% female labor participation is there in the country. That has to go up if country has to grow. The second challenge probably which we encounter, which probably is common to all the industry members, that is segmented communication. In any corporate entity or in any organization, in any unit, there is a tendency to make groups based on regions, based on language, based on cultures, based on many other things. And that leads to lobbying, that if a particular person of a particular community, of a particular region, he becomes at the top, then probably all the people of that community go up. So that lobbying starts happening in the organizations. That is a challenge, and that should be taken care of. Third thing is probably that competition for opportunities in the diverse groups. Now, people may feel that competition is good for any business environment, but here I have a take that probably competition for limited opportunities, that may cause issues and problems. I'm referring to particular examples of recent reservation stirs and other things which are going on in the country that probably may be detrimental for the nation as a whole and for the organization in particular wherever these problems exist. Now, in Indian Oil, what do we do to tackle all these issues? First and foremost, probably in our organization, the managing diversity starts right from the beginning, right from the selection process. Like young engineers are recruited in Indian Oil through GATE, and Indian Oil was the first organization to start this process of selecting through GATE, which is done for MTech admissions, and it is conducted by IITs. Now, the best return of that particular process is that we get people when we recruit from different parts of the country, different regions, different languages, different religions, and all those people who join Indian Oil at a central place, maybe in Delhi or in NCR area, they are given training and then for initial 2 weeks, and then they are sent to respective regions. Now, different batches go to different regions. If a particular batch is joining, suppose today, he may go to southern region. If a batch is joining, next batch is joining, suppose a week later, the next batch after 2 weeks of training will go to maybe eastern region, maybe western region, or may remain in northern region. The different regions are given, that experience is given right from the beginning so that people start feeling as to what kind of diversity they are going to face and how they are going to overcome. And after about 2 months of training in the respective regions, then the question comes of posting, final posting. The basic principle which is followed is that the person will not be posted in the home state. If the person belongs to UP, he will not be posted in UP. That is the basic principle we follow, excepting, of course, there are some exceptions because differently abled people and other those compulsions we do accommodate. But 90% of the people, they get posted out of their home state and preferably out of the region. Suppose the person is from northern region, he will be posted in some other region. So that also happens. So that is the first and foremost we follow in that. Then talking about the millennials, as to what we do once they are inducted in the company, then what do we do? How do we handle them? And from 2015 onwards, Indian Oil is following a process, a practice, that there is a young officers conclave, which is conducted every year thereafter, after 2015. And very great importance, significant importance is attached to this particular activity in the sense that board members are there present, even our chairman remains present, where the young officers, they come up with the new ideas. They come up with the ideas as to how things can be done differently because they observe the company for 2-3 years initially and then they observe. And then implementable ideas, they are discussed and decided as to what next action can be taken on those ideas. The next thing what we do is that there is a vibrant suggestion scheme all over the country in all the units which is prevalent. Idea Utsavs we are celebrating, we are observing, to encourage people to give ideas and to think about the innovation part of it as to how things can be improved upon. May not be the product, because the product is such in petroleum industry that this cannot be improved upon in the sense that petrol will remain petrol. Accepting that octane number, you can go here and there depending upon the policies and specifications, those things are different. But how things can be made easy for the people who are working in the organization, or maybe what service can be given to the customer in the field at a retail outlet or maybe a large volume customer. Those things are certainly seen. And how safety can be inculcated, how safety can be increased for the overall interest of the public at large. That is how these suggestions are invited and idea also are observed. Then we do mentoring. Every officer, when he or she joins, he is assigned a mentor, so that he or she can talk to, because in case of any difficulty, in case of any doubt, in case of any apprehension, he is the first person responsible to interact with that new joinee so that he can solve his or her problems. And then we have skill upgrading programs. Like we have e-learning modules because so that they can learn new things, they can go through new courses depending upon their choice and depending upon their interests. So they can do that. E-learning platforms are open. They have been made open, like Coursera.org. That is the program we generally encourage. And there are many other e-learning platforms which the fees is paid by the company and they are encouraged to do those kind of courses. Then we have state-of-the-art Indian Oil Institute of Petroleum Management in Gurgaon, where different kinds of programs are conducted so that they can upskill their skills and other things. And it is not only many areas in our company which are encouraged to do this, but for others also we are doing for the people who are not even joining Indian Oil, and as a service to the community, service to the people of this country. Indian Oil has recently started, you must have gone through in the newspaper, that a startup fund has been created to get the ideas. Those ideas are selected. There are two-level committee which is formed, which examines those ideas, and then proof of concept level they are brought up to. It is financially helped. Indian Oil helps financially, and also there is one mentor which is assigned who helps the people incubation kind of thing which goes on. Then we have skill development centers which have come up at Bhubaneswar recently and also in Assam. Bhubaneswar is that welding and other things, those skill development programs are going on for the public. And also the nursing school we have in Guwahati in Assam. And recently we have also started taking apprentices in diploma holders, in diploma level, as well as at ITI level. And these apprentices are to the extent of 10% of our total workforce. It's a large number, and almost all the units, all the locations of Indian Oil are today flooded with those apprentices. We are into, giving the training and all those things to them. So our main interest is that skill upgradation should take place in India, because the studies show that in India unemployability is basically because of that skill requirement which are not existing. It's only 5% people in the country who go through that skill upgradation programs, whereas in China it is, I think, 40%. So we are way behind, and Indian Oil is doing its best to improve the overall quality of life for the public at large, and also to our own people who are joining Indian Oil. Thank you.